Well, I'm so excited to share with you guys a few ideas about how to get back to basics and how to engage in your business in December. And this has been really good for me because I struggle with this. And so I'm looking forward to our conversation after I share a few screens. I just put a few thoughts together that I thought might direct our conversation a little bit. And I want to begin with just a few questions that many of us probably are asking ourselves, or a few thoughts. Well, it'd be helpful if I could move to the next screen. There we go. So let's consider, have you had thoughts like this? And I will be the first to say I have. So feel free to raise your hand if you've had one or two of these thoughts. It's the holidays. Everyone's buying gifts. They're not wanting to purchase whole food nutrition in a capsule or even a Tower Garden. Anybody had that thought? My friends are too busy with life. They have kids' Christmas programs, they have school, they have church, they're in the choir, and they don't want me to talk to them about health and wellness right now. Growing food is not a holiday thing. This hits home with me. It's kind of a springtime thing, so I shouldn't really even talk about it right now. So that was thinking about that's thinking about Tower Garden, obviously. And then this is a primary one that I have used myself many times. Let's just wait till January. It's kind of busy. I got a lot going on. I got family, and we can deal with this in January when everybody's trying to get healthy. Anybody had that thought so far? I know December's 2 days away, but we're preparing for it. And then the last one is, my friends don't need a business or even a side gig. It's just me that's going to be interested in this right now. So I want to put you at ease that we're all having these thoughts. And what I want to do is help you overcome these thoughts and give you a few ideas and suggestions about December and how we can really get back to basics and how we can use this time very, very effectively. So let's talk about getting back to basics first. We talked about what is our sweet spot, or in other words, what is our lane that we should be traveling in. And for some people, that's going to be social media because they love posting on Facebook or Instagram. For others, that might be personal conversations on the phone or over coffee or even via text. And many of us, it's a combination of both, if you think about it. Some of us really love events, whether they are in our own home or whether they're on Facebook or Zoom, just like this. And, there's not a right or wrong sweet spot. So if you're not 100% confident of where your sweet spot is or your lane, you might want to talk with your, upline or your sponsor, just to kind of use these couple of questions at the bottom as an indicator. But what I like to say to my team members is, what brings you joy? When do you walk away from an interaction or an exposure and you feel joyful? Is that when you've had coffee with someone? Is that when you've been texting with someone? Or when you got to do a great event on Zoom about Tower Garden, for example? Nicole has done some incredible things for us on Tower Garden. And thinking about, where have your customers come from? That's another way to get an indicator of your lane or your sweet spot. So if you have a few customers, 1, 2, 3, or if you have 20, you can kind of spot some trends. Am I getting more customers from, private conversations, or from my Facebook posts, social media, or from my events? And in many cases, it's a combination of both. And I'll just be honest, for me, I really need to post something on social media every day, 5 days a week. That's important for me. I find that those exposures keep my friends aware of what I'm into and what I enjoy, what I'm passionate about. And I get a few customers that way, don't get me wrong, but I get more customers from personal conversations, and I love personal conversations. But I also do events. Annette, Denise, and I do events every month, and sometimes we get customers that way. So it's probably going to be a combination, but what this is going to do is help you decide where to spend your time. So if you're not 100% confident of where your sweet spot is or your lane, have a conversation with your upline and try to figure out with your leader what's the best way to spend your time. So the other thing about getting back to basics, is that we want to track our daily touches in a calendar format. I still do this. We started this way back in the summer, I think June or July, and I have a calendar that I print, free calendar, and I try to commit to connecting with one person a day minimum. So on certain days, I'm just too busy to do more than one person, but in most days, I'm trying to have a time allotment of connecting with more than one, but at a minimum, especially during the holidays, I want to see at least one name on every day. And I'm choosing to connect with people about our mission, not just our product. So think about this. We really are a part of a movement, a wellness movement. And we are passionate about helping people get healthier. So if we can express our story and our passion, people are going to relate to it. People are not going to relate to, I wish I had my bottles around here, a bottle of, capsules. That's not quite so interesting. They're going to relate to your story and to your passion. And I want to tell you that the way that I get into my passion is to go back to the beginning. I was on 4 daily medications. I was praying for a natural solution because I knew there would be side effects. And I had been to at least 5 doctors and they all gave me a different drug. So if I can go back to those emotions and those feelings and then remind myself, this has been almost 10 years ago, of how I felt when I was able to go off those medications. Oh my goodness. I mean, it took almost 6 months. It wasn't overnight, but I trusted the person who shared it with me and I had hope because I was praying about a solution. And I felt like God had brought this person into my life. So a couple things happened here. This person had courage to share with me. And this person was passionate about health and nutrition. I knew that about her and I trusted her. She was in a Bible study with me. She was a neighbor. I had been around her quite a bit. So she didn't just come to me with a bottle and say, you need Juice Plus. She came to me with a mission of inspiring healthy living. And that's what I want you to think about. When we wrap our arms around the story or the mission of Juice Plus and or Tower Gardens, I mean, you can have a mission around Tower Gardens. I love growing beyond organic, nutrient-dense food at my home and even at our farm. I mean, that's incredible. So think about sharing your story and your why versus sharing a product. Tower Garden is incredible just to hear the facts, but how much more incredible is it when you hear how it's changed lives? And it's bringing these kiddos to a point where they want to eat kale and they never even dreamed of eating kale. But because they were involved in growing it, they will try it. So are you starting to get the big picture here? It's not about a product. It's about your story. It's about your passion. It's about your mission. So let's look at December. Just want to do a few numbers here because I'm a numbers girl. There are 31 days in the month of December, 23 weekdays. And I do need to explain to you the reason why I have 2019 calendar up there is it was super cute with the Christmas motif at the top, and it was the first one I found. So I promise I will be using a 2021 calendar. But if you look at the 2021 December, there are 23 weekdays. So I choose to invest time in my business 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. And I save the weekends for my family and my personal time. So let's assume that a few days will be holiday gatherings, a few days will be with your family. And so I just took out somewhere between 5 and 7 days from that. And so we probably have between 18 and 20 days, if you're thinking about Monday through Friday, to touch friends on Facebook, Instagram, text, email, or events, like we're getting ready to start our 12 days of smoothie event. So consider committing to yourself. This is something you do for yourself, not for your leader, not for, someone else that you may be working with. This is for yourself. Consider committing to yourself that you will be consistent for the month of December. And if that's 18 days for you, or if that's, 20 days, it doesn't matter. But choosing to share your heart and your passion for health is your goal. Not choosing to share a product and the facts, but choosing to share your why. What is it that got you so excited when you started Juice Plus? What is it that got you so excited when you started growing food on your tower garden? And what is it today that you love? Why do you share it? So consider investing 15 minutes a day. And some people, that's going to be really early mornings because they work or they're busy with their children most of the day. Some people, that's going to be at lunchtime. Some people, it's mid-afternoon because that's the only time they can get a quick break from the other things in life. And some people, it's going to be evening. So there's not a right or wrong time during the day. But I have to say that most of us have 15 minutes we can find in a given day. We're either spending time on social media scrolling today, we're shopping online, we're sitting in a line, carpool line, waiting for a kiddo. We've got time if we look for it. So I want to encourage you to consider committing to yourself that you're going to find 15 minutes a day, Monday through Friday. And, give yourself some grace days. Obviously, there are going to be some days that you have a holiday party or a family member there. No big deal. What I do is then double up the next, weekday to make up for it. So it takes some intentionality. That's the last point here. And during the month of December, I will tell you that we can see so many results in the early part of the year from us being intentional in December. I never believed this for the first few years that I was sharing Juice Plus. I always thought, oh, I'll wait till January. That's when everybody wants to get healthy anyway. But what you're doing now is planting seeds for everyone who's going to want to get healthy in January and February. And the world wants to get healthy in January and February. So why wouldn't you be the one that would be top of mind for them? And so let's just have a summary here before we engage as a team, because I want to hear from you all, is find your sweet spot. We've been talking about this for a while. In our 8:30 call, we actually are accountable and share what we're doing in our sweet spot. But in this call, I'm just trying to encourage you and to inspire you to go to the basics in December. So we start with our sweet spot, figure out where you're getting your customers, what you enjoy doing. And then number 2, we choose 15 minutes a day to invest in helping others with their health and sharing your story. That's a little twist. We're not choosing 15 minutes to share a product or to make money. We're choosing to inspire and encourage others towards better health, whether they grow food or whether they want to buy our fruits and vegetables in a capsule. And I actually think that those marry really well. People need both. They want to grow food, but they also need a simple, easy button. And our easy button is our capsules or our gummies or our complete shake. Consider using a tracking tool. I find that the people on my team who use a tracking tool and monitor their daily activity actually have more activity than those who want to really, create a habit, but just get busy. When we have something that we use for tracking, it keeps us accountable to ourselves and to others. And I have to tell you, I've been looking back at some of my sheets, and I'm going to go back to my sheets that I was using in June and July in the next few days and just follow up with some people that haven't made a decision yet. It's perfect time to touch base with them because we're coming up on a season when people want to get healthy. And I have to tell you, there are a lot of people feeling a little bit of what I would call food coma after the Thanksgiving holiday. So why wouldn't we touch base with them and ask them if they want to reset with us and, encourage some people on this journey. The last thing We want to have fun with it. That's why we're doing the 12 days of smoothies. We're doing these fun holiday smoothies, and we're hoping to just encourage people in how they can get in at least one plant-based meal a day from our complete shake mix. So that's my little kind of get back to basics presentation, if you will. Now I want to hear from you guys. Let me see if I can stop this sharing. And I'm going to turn off the recording because I think that we all share better when we're not feeling like someone's listening to a recording.